Elon Musk, shocked, seeing his son with a black homeless woman, and a millionaire appears suddenly. The city never sleeps. Neon lights flicker over crowded sidewalks, blending with the sharp scents of grilled meat and fresh paint. Somewhere, a saxophone wails, tangled with laughter and shouts. And right there, in the middle of the chaos, Ethan Carter, the king of tech, stands frozen, his jaw tight, his chest clenched like a fist, because just yards ahead, his teenage son Alex is holding hands with Maya Johnson. Not just any girl, Maya, a fierce street artist known for her wild murals, her bright curls pulled back under a paint-splattered cap. To Ethan, they're worlds apart. Alex, polished and privileged. Maya, an enigma wrapped in the city's shadows. A girl who seems to belong nowhere and everywhere at once. But what stuns Ethan more is what whispers flood the streets. Rumors that Maya's no ordinary street artist. That her past is tangled with mystery, money, and secrets. Suddenly, the stories he believed about success, identity, and status feel thin, fragile, as if they could snap with the slightest touch. Alex laughs, light, reckless, a sound that splits Ethan's doubts wide open. No fear in his eyes, just raw, stubborn love. Ethan's heart pounds. He wants to pull Alex away, keep him safe, hold tight to the neat future Ethan has built. But against the roar of the city and the pulse of art on cracked walls, Ethan senses a truth he never saw. Maya, eyes flickering with a secret, swallows. She's afraid, terrified even, of what will happen if she reveals where she really comes from. The daughter of a lost fortune, hidden away by secrets that could rewrite everything. As Ethan watches this unlikely pair, a chill cuts through his skin. In a pile of faded photographs and forgotten files, he finds it. Something dark from Maya's childhood. Something that links their families in ways nobody's. The street noise blurs, drowning under the weight pressing around Ethan's chest. Should he protect his son's love or shield his family's fragile status? But before he can breathe, his phone vibrates. The screen glows with a number unknown. The voice that answers is low, urgent. Someone ready to pull back the curtain on everything Ethan dared hide. The secret they fear, the one that could destroy both families, lies just a call away. Ethan's hands tremble. The line crackles with truth and threat. What will he do? The city holds its breath. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important warning. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube removed their subscriptions without notice. Take a quick look at the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I don't want you to miss any exclusive content that's coming. And since you're here, drop a powerful like that really helps me with the algorithm. Oh, and let me know in the comments, what city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's interact. Ethan's heart races. The city hums with life, but all he hears is the thud of his pulse. An unknown number. A voice on the other end. But the moment drags, pulling him deeper into the chaos of his thoughts. What if this call pulls everything apart? Before he can take a breath, a sudden shout cuts through the noise like a knife. Hey, stop them! He looks up just in time. A man, wild-eyed and frantic, bursts from the crowd. He's stumbling, waving his arms like a windmill in the storm. Behind him, a group of men in dark clothing pushes through the throng, faces set in grim determination. Ethan's stomach drops. Is this trouble? Is this for Maya? Instinct kicks in. He takes a step forward, the urge to protect Alex surging against the weight of truth he's just about to face. Maya! Alex! He shouts, but the words barely escape his lips. He can't get their attention. They're lost in their world, laughter still dancing between them, oblivious to the brewing storm. The man approaches, eyes darting. They're coming for her. She has to go, he gasps. And before Ethan can ask, the air thickens. The group behind the man is close now. Alex looks up, confusion flickering across his face. Dad, what's happening? Ethan's throat tightens, panic rising. Get away from her! Maya freezes, her eyes wide, lips parted in fear. But a realization dawns. Wait, no, she cries, but her voice is snatched away by the clamor of the street. In an instant, the men lunge. One grabs Maya by the arm. The crowd parts like waves, gasping at the spectacle. Alex's grip slips from Maya's hand as Ethan rushes, pushing through people, desperation fueling him. Let her go! And then, amidst the chaos, the wild-eyed man yells, Ethan, you don't know who she is! The world narrows, the voice cutting through everything. Ethan's heart pounds harder. Who is she? Just stop! Maya screams, but the man is leading her away, the grip on her arm tight and unyielding. It's not what you think! Suddenly, a shot rings out, loud, piercing. The crowd freezes. Everything goes still. Wide eyes, gasps, panic. The men scramble, confusion erupting. Maya's eyes meet Ethan's, a whispered plea hanging in the air. Ethan's world tilts. Before he can process, the wild-eyed man collapses to the ground. A dark stain blooms on his shirt. Ethan's breath catches, a lurch in his chest. Who shot? What just happened? Maya's expression shifts, fear mixing with something darker. We have to go now, she whispers, tugging at Ethan's sleeve. They're after me, Ethan. I'm not who you think. The camera shifts, capturing the chaos, the crowd's panic. Faces twisted in shock, whispers growing like wildfire. Ethan stands frozen. What do you mean? He stammers, confusion swirling. What are you hiding? Maya's gaze is fierce, urgency radiating from her. It's not safe. My family. But another voice whispers into the chaos, low and dark. You can't escape who you are, Maya. Ethan glances around. Fear grips him. Secrets spit around them, twisting everything he thought he knew. What truth has been buried? What connection ties them together? As sirens blare in the distance, closing in fast, the city seems to fade away, leaving only the weight of reality crashing down. Ethan's hands shake, sweat slipping down his palms. The night stretches before them, dark and uncertain. What if everything, every belief, every hope was built on a lie? And then, suddenly, a hand grips Ethan's shoulder from behind. He whirls around, heart racing, breath caught in his throat. Time's up! The man's face is familiar. Ethan stares, disbelief engulfing him. Who the hell are you? The city waits. Silence hangs thick in the air, but answers are nowhere to be found. Ethan's heart raced. The voicemail was a ghost on the line. The words shrouded in shadow. Call me back. It's about Maya. The chill wrapped tighter around him. His mind raced through possibilities, each darker than the last. What could be hidden behind her bright smile and fierce art? He glanced back at Alex, still enchanted, oblivious to the storm brewing around them. The street stretched in chaotic colors, laughter colliding with shouts, but all he felt was that isolation thumping in his chest. If Maya was linked to secrets he feared, could he risk Alex's future for some misplaced loyalty? Then, suddenly, a loud crash erupted from the alleyway behind them. A scream pierced the night, cutting through the cacophony of the city. Ethan turned, adrenaline surging as he instinctively reached for his son. From the shadows, a figure stumbled into the light. A man, disheveled, face bruised and wild. "Help!" he gasped, clutching a crumpled piece of paper. The crowd froze, eyes wide. Maya stepped forward, instinct taking over. "What happened?" she demanded, her voice strong like the street art she created. I saw something," the man panted, his eyes darting. "They're coming for her." Ethan's mind whirled. Her? Who was he talking about? Was it Maya? Suddenly, the man's gaze locked onto Ethan. "You've got to listen, kid. She's not who you think she is." Panic vibrated in his words. "What do you mean?" Ethan's voice came out sharper than intended. "Just look." The man thrust the crumpled paper at Maya. "They'll come for you. They've been looking for you. You've got to run." Maya's hands trembled as she snatched it. Silence fell over the crowd. Breath held tight. She opened it, her eyes widening. A photograph, a family portrait. But it was hers. A younger Maya standing with two figures. One looked hauntingly familiar. A knot twisted in Ethan's gut. "I knew it." Protests bubbled in his throat. Too late. Maya's eyes met his, a tidal wave of fear crashing in. "Don't you see? She's connected to the elite. The ones who ruined everything. The secrets." But before he could finish, the night erupted with flashing lights. Police cruisers swarmed, sirens wailing, creating a discordant symphony. The crowd scattered, panic breaking out like frayed wires. Maya's frozen expression cut him deep. "Run!" she shouted to Alex as she dashed down the alley, but the shock held him in place. "Maya, wait!" Ethan shouted, heart sinking. The police screeched to a halt. Officers pouring out, urgency radiating from them. A crisis ballooning in the air, and there stood Maya, a secret unleashed. Her true past scrambling free, spinning the stories Ethan believed upside down. He tore after them, calling out. Would he protect his son or chase after the girl who could unravel everything he held dear? The choice weighed like lead, raw emotion throbbing tighter with each step. In the chaos, Ethan knew they were on the brink of losing not just Alex's heart, but everything he had built. And there, in the spiraling confusion, a terrifying thought slipped through. Could it be that Maya was the last thread connecting the truth that could destroy them all. The city held its breath, just like him, as shadows of secrets loomed large, ready to swallow everything whole. Ethan's heart raced. Panic surged through him like a wild tide. The sirens blared. The lights flashed, washing the alley in frantic white. He couldn't let Maya get away. Couldn't let the truth slip into shadows forever. "Maya, wait," he called, pushing through the chaos. But she was almost at the mouth of the alley now, shadows swallowing her whole. Alex stood frozen, the confusion etched on his face. "Dad, what's happening?" "Stay here," Ethan barked, and then he dashed after Maya. Each step felt like a minute. He could feel the eyes of the crowd on him, whispers swirling like wind. Then, crack! The sound shattered the air. His heart dropped. He turned to see a figure emerge, gun raised. Time slowed, the world blurred. Electric tension humming in the air. "Maya!" he screamed. But it wasn't her that the gun was aimed at. It was the wild-eyed man from earlier, the one who had warned him. "No!" Maya's voice cut through the chaos as she pivoted, rushing back. The gun went off. A deafening bang echoed, and the crowd gasped. Then silence spiraled, heavy and cold. Every breath caught like a stone in a throat. Ethan turned, eyes wide, as the man crumpled to the ground. "Maya!" he yelled again, but she was already there, kneeling beside the man, the air thick with disbelief. "Why?" she whispered, fingers trembling as they brushed his cheek. Ethan's heart sank. The man's eyes fluttered open, shock mingling with pain. "Maya, they're coming for you." "They know." "What do you mean?" she breathed, grasping his shirt. But before the man could answer, a voice rose above the rest, sharp and clear. "You think you can hide forever?" Ethan turned, and there stood a tall shadow, a silhouette against the flashing lights, a face he recognized too well. A rival from the business world, someone whose name echoed through boardrooms. "You!" Ethan shot back. "Yes, me," the man sneered, "but you won't stop what's coming." Panic erupted within Ethan, boiling over into anger. Stop what? What is this about? The rival stepped forward, eyes gleaming with dark amusement. "Maya's not just a street artist, she's part of the lineage you're not ready to face." Ethan's breath hitched. "A lineage?" In that moment, Maya looked up, eyes wide, realization dawning cruelly. "What lineage? Your family has been tangled in this mess for years. You think building towers shields you. They?" But just then, a scream pierced the air. A new figure, blurring with urgency, burst onto the scene. A woman, disheveled and frantic. "Maya, they found us!" Ethan felt the ground pull away. His thoughts raced. Who was she? "Mom?" Maya whispered, shock ripping through her voice like glass breaking. The crowd started to murmur, whispers bouncing around like ricocheting bullets. Ethan's heart felt heavy, the weight of the world crashing down. The woman clutched Maya, eyes wide with fear. "We have to go. They won't stop until they get you." Everything shifted in that instant. The city spun around him, truth unraveling at his feet. Maya's mother? Could it be? The air thickened with lies and betrayal. "Maya, what is happening?" Ethan stammered, fear pooling in his chest. But before she could respond, a chorus of shouting erupted nearby. "Over here! We found them!" Ethan's heart pounded furiously. we need to run! In that moment, fate twisted. The police, the rival, the wild-eyed man, they all converged into one chaotic storm. And just like that, everything Ethan thought he knew crumbled. Who was Maya really? What had her family done that was so unimaginable? As the flickering lights drew nearer, his chest tightened. "Maya, tell me the truth!" he yelled, urgency in every word. "Ethan, But before she could finish, the shadows moved again. The city's breath caught, tension crackling like static, a storm ready to break. What had she been hiding? What secret could shatter lives like glass? And in the chaos, uncertainty loomed heavy over them all, waiting to strike. The city held its breath once more. Ethan's heart races in his chest. A buzzing call still clutched in his hand. Raw emotions swirl, fear, greed, love, all battling for control. He glances back at Alex and Maya, their laughter resounding like a soft bell, beautifully oblivious to the storm brewing. "Just hold on," he mutters under his breath. But the urgent voice on the line cuts through his thoughts, demanding his attention. "Ethan, we need to talk. It's about her, Maya." The words hang in the air like a ticking bomb. His instincts scream. Everything has shifted. Those murmurs he heard about Maya's past now have teeth, ready to bite. He takes a step back, blending into the background. Ethan's mind races with glimpses of lies, questions. What could this talk really mean? Alex pulls Maya closer, their connection radiant against the dim lights of the city. And yet, the thrill of youth they share feels like a high wire act, teetering dangerously. Under the surface, it's dark. "Maya Johnson?" he asks the voice, fighting to keep his tone steady. "What do you know?" "More than you." The voice pauses, sharp in its urgency. "She's connected to something bigger. A scandal, buried but not gone. It will ruin you both." Ethan's chest constricts, breath turning shallow. That cold chill runs through him again, more profound now. He turns away from his son and Maya, his heart heavy with the weight of decisions. Who do you protect? Your flesh and blood? Or your crumbling empire? Then his eyes catch movement, a flash of red in the corner of his vision. A figure standing just behind a lamppost, cloaked in shadow. A woman. The air shifts. He feels her gaze piercing through the chaos, locking onto him. "Ethan!" she calls, voice soft but cutting. Electrifying uncertainty wraps around him. "Who?" Before he can react, the woman steps forward, illuminated briefly by a passing taxi. His breath hitches. It's her! Naomi. His past. His first love. The one who vanished without a trace. "Naomi?" His voice cracks, disbelief flooding his veins. "What are you?" "I came to warn you." Her eyes are stormy, filled with a desperate urgency. "You have to get Alex away from Maya. She's not who you think she is. This city, her art, it's a front." The world spirals around him. The vibrant city fades to black. The joyous laughter of Alex, a mere echo. Naomi was gone. Now she's here and unraveling secrets he didn't know existed. Maya's father was involved. Involved in something terrible. Naomi continues, each word a dagger. "A drug lord." Ethan's mind races, colliding with pain, confusion, and betrayal. Could it be true? all those rumors he barely glanced at? Was Maya caught in the undertow of her father's sins? In the distance, sirens wail, fading in and out with the pulse of uncertainty. He feels as if someone has ripped away a curtain, exposing a tangled web of chaos, secrets, and lies far deeper than he could have imagined. But then, his phone buzzes again, a second message waiting. His heart stops. What if everything he thought he knew was a lie? What happened next would change everything. His family, his son, the city holds its breath, waiting for his next move. And in that moment, with the city alive around him, yet eerily still, Ethan feels it deep within, the ground shifting beneath him. What would he say to Alex? What if the truth came crashing down? Ethan's heart races as the phone vibrates, demanding his attention. He swallows hard, his throat dry. Alex beams at Maya, their laughter dancing through the chaos of the city, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing just inches away. He's torn between his son's joy and the looming knowledge of what lurking secrets might mean for their future. "Hello?" Ethan answers, his voice shaky. The voice on the other end is deep and unfamiliar, pulling him in with its urgency. "Mr. Carter, we need to talk. It's about Maya Johnson. There's something you don't know. Something that could be very dangerous for both of you." His breath catches. "What do you mean?" "Meet me at the old warehouse by the docks in an hour. Bring her. You need to hear this," the stranger commands before abruptly hanging up. Ethan's mind spins. Could Maya really hold secrets that could upend everything? He glances over at the two kids, all laughter and innocence. But there's a shadow lurking around them. What did this man mean? A sharp edge of panic slices through him. Maya's past is tangled, wrapped in vibrant paint and obscured by city lights. But what if there's more? He could feel the walls closing in, suffocating him with worries of the possibilities. Should he warn Alex? Pull him away now? Before he can decide, a crash echoes from the street. A mailbox toppled by a lucky street performer's tricks. People turn, eyes widening, murmurs flooding the air. Then, in the midst of the chaos, an older man emerges from the crowd. Scruffy with a wild gray beard, he locks eyes with Maya. For a moment, silence falls. "Maya!" he bellows, his voice thick with emotion. "You think you can just forget? You think you're safe?" Maya's eyes go wide, panic coursing through her body. The joy fades from her face in an instant. "What do you want?" she chokes out, her hands instinctively pulling away from Alex. Ethan feels his heart plummet. This man, who is he? The crowd buzzes, a mix of shock and curiosity. Faces turn toward the unfolding drama, waiting, needing a story in the bustling city. "I know who you really are. I know the truth about your family, about your father. You're not just some artist. Your mother, she's alive. You're not lost like you always thought." The words hit like a punch. Maya staggers back, her breaths rapid, frantic. What is he saying? Alex steps towards Maya, confusion etched on his youthful face. "What's going on? Maya, who is he?" Ethan feels a tremor run through him. He wants to protect Alex, shield him from this revelation. But he feels powerless as the pieces of some hidden puzzle tumble into place, knocking him off balance. Maya's face pales, shock entwining with fear. "You're lying! How would you know?" The man's face twists with urgency. his voice thickening with desperation. "Because I've been searching for you, and I've found something else. I found out how your family ties into the Carters, Ethan. Secrets that could ruin you both. You need to listen." The crowd buzzes louder, the tension electric. Ethan looks at Maya, their eyes locking in a moment of understanding and terror. "Come with me," Maya whispers, trembling. But it's too late. A siren wails in the distance, cutting through the chaos, marking the beginning of something he can't quite fathom. Everything is unraveling. What have they stumbled into? What truth could rip their lives apart? Ethan feels the weight of the city pressing down, holding its breath, waiting for the ground to shift beneath them all. Ethan's heart races. The unknown number glows like a warning light. He swallows hard, staring at his phone. The world blurs around him, the city lights dimming. His grip tightens. He can feel the weight of secrets creeping in, clawing at his throat. "Hello?" he answers, his voice barely a whisper. "Ethan Carter." The voice on the other end is gravelly, suffused with urgency. "You need to come to the old warehouse by the docks, now." Panic flares in his chest. Who is this? What do you want? There's a pause, heavy with unspoken truths. You know what's at stake. Maya knows too. Get here before it's too late. The call ends, leaving only a deafening silence that stretches painfully. His mind races. Why the docks? What does Maya have to do with this? Shadows flicker along the edges of his thoughts, threatening to swallow him whole. He looks up. Alex and Maya are in their own world, laughter spilling from them like bright paint. Ethan should call out, pull Alex away, but the pull of the unseen is stronger. He steps back, leaving the chaos behind. He's never felt so torn, so exposed. Secrets darken the streetlights above him. "Dad?" Alex's voice pulls him back. There's concern etched into his son's features. "You okay?" "Everything's fine, Alex. I need to step away for a moment." He pushes past the crowd, heart pounding harder with each step. The warehouse looms ahead, an ancient behemoth in a sea of modernity. Its crumbling bricks whisper of the past. He opens the door, the air stale and thick with dust. Shadows dance, and he swallows hard. Instincts screaming that he's walked into something dangerous. A figure emerges, a tall, imposing man cloaked in shadows. "You're late," he says, voice low and cruel. "I thought you'd care more about your family's public image than this little street artist." His stomach drops. "What do you know about Maya?" Ethan demands, fists clenched. The man chuckles, dark and mocking. "Everything! You've buried the truth well, but it all comes spilling out now. You really think I wouldn't find out about her? She's not just some girl you can shove aside, Ethan." The ground beneath Ethan shifts. "What are you talking about? There are threads woven between your lives, ties that run deep. And if you let your son love her, you'll unleash chaos." The man steps closer, and Ethan feels the air grow heavy. He knows he should run, should protect Alex, but a primal dread roots him to the spot. Secrets churn within him, lines of power, betrayal, and family ties he thought were severed. "What are you implying?" he gasps, breathless. The man leans in, voice dropping to a warning whisper. "Maya isn't just an artist. Her family's legacy is tied to yours. You don't know what you're getting into. Ethan's vision blurs. Threads of memory flooding back. Faces, secrets, and the whispers of his own past. Everything he thought he'd left behind. Suddenly, a loud crash echoes from the entrance, breaking through the darkness. Alex calls out, panic lacing his tone. Dad. A flicker of fear flashes through Ethan. What if Alex is caught in this web? But before he can react, Maya stands beside the door, paint-splattered cap tipped low, her eyes wide. You need to listen to him. Ethan's heart sinks. What do you know? Her gaze sharpens, determination blooming. Everything about us. The words hang between them, thick and heavy. Ethan's mind spins with uncertainty. The warehouse trembles as the walls seem to lean in, shadows breathing secrets. And just like that, the ground beneath them shifts again, announcing a truth that could tear them all apart. Ethan's heart races, confusion swirling like a storm inside him. The weight of what the man said lingers in the air, a taut string ready to snap. Maya's eyes reflect fear and determination, blending into an uncertain tapestry. The warehouse around them feels claustrophobic, shadows stretching like claws. Ethan, please! Maya's voice trembles, a whisper edged with desperation. You need to understand. But before he can explain, another wave of noise crashes through the doorway, drowning out everything. A group of men swarm in, faces shadowed and intentions clear. They glide forward with an unsettling confidence, like predators on the hunt. Maya's breath catches. They're here. Ethan's instinct kicks in. His body moves before he thinks. So, run, he shouts, adrenaline surging through him. Alex's eyes widen with panic. Dad, what's happening? Just trust me, Alex. He grabs Alex's wrist, pulling him toward the thick shadows. Maya stands frozen, the tension radiating from her like electricity. You don't have to do this! She shouts at the advancing men, but her voice cracks, uncertainty creeping in. One of the men steps forward, a sneer twisting his lips. You need to come with us, Maya. You know too much. Ethan's heart pounds in his chest. Who are these men? What could Maya possibly know? A sudden noise, a crash, glass shattering, makes Ethan's pulse quicken. He turns, and in that moment of distraction, the wild-eyed man from earlier barrels into the fray. Get away from her, he yells, launching himself at the intruders. Chaos explodes. The men grapple, shouts echoing through the warehouse. Ethan shields Alex, trying to keep him close and safe. But time feels distorted. Everything happens so fast, yet it feels like a slow-motion nightmare. Maya's eyes dart from Ethan to the wild-eyed man, desperation flooding her voice. No! You can't! She lunges forward, but Ethan grabs her arm, pulling her back. Get out! We need to go now! The wild-eyed man shouts something indistinct, desperation threading through his words. The truth about... Before he can finish, one of the intruders pulls a gun. The world collapses into a hollow gasp. Shut up! Everything pauses. Ethan's lungs feel heavy, dread coiling inside him, and then, like a feral howl slicing through the air, the gun goes off. A shot rings out, loud and sharp, echoing with horrific finality. The wild-eyed man staggers, clutching his chest, then collapses. A sickening silence replaces the chaos. Maya! Ethan screams, but the world tilts. Maya's face becomes a mask of horror. As the man falls, blood blossoms across the floor like a cruel flower. Ethan feels himself shake, disbelief clawing at him. "Get down!" he yells, instinctively shielding Alex. But the panic that grips the room is suffocating. Maya's expression transforms, eyes wide, glistening with tears. "What did you do?" she whispers, horror-struck, trembling as she stares at the lifeless figure. In that moment, a piercing realization dawns, more severe than the gunshot's echo. A family, tied in a way he never expected, entangled in blood and betrayal. Maya! The name escapes his lips like a prayer, but the sound feels hollow in the surging chaos. The room seems to spin, the boundaries of their reality fracturing. "What's happening?" Alex whispers, eyes wide with confusion. Just as panic threatens to consume them, the shadowy intruder laughs, a low, unfeeling sound. "You don't even know, do you? The truth about her." Ethan's breath quickens. "Who is she, Maya?" he asks, barely managing to keep his voice steady. Maya stares, the fear drawing her lips tight. I didn't want you to find out like this." But before she can elaborate, another shot rings out, this time not from a gun. An explosion erupts outside, shaking the very foundation of their world. The warehouse rocks, debris peppering the air, scattering everyone like leaves in a storm. The structure groans ominously as chaos erupts once more. They stumble back, eyes wide, the air thick with dust and panic. It draws them together, and in that blinding moment of confusion, the truth Nate feared the most hangs in the air, lingering, taunting, and ready to unravel everything he held dear. "Maya," he gasps, fear clenching his heart. "Tell me the truth. What are you hiding?" But the answer hangs just out of reach as they're thrust into the clamor of the unknown, sirens wailing in the distance. And in the chaos of this new reality, Ethan feels a tether snap, connecting him not only to Maya, but to a fate greater than himself, spinning out of control. The night holds secrets, but it could also drown them all. Ethan's heart races, confusion swirling like a storm inside him. The weight of what the man said lingers in the air, a taut string ready to snap. Maya's eyes reflect fear. The warehouse around them feels claustrophobic. Shadows stretching like claws. "Ethan, please!" Maya's voice trembles, a whisper edged with desperation. "You need to understand." But before she can explain, another wave of noise crashes through the doorway, drowning out everything. A group of men swarm in, faces shadowed and intentions clear. They glide forward with an unsettling confidence, like predators on the hunt. Maya's breath catches. "They're here!" Ethan's instinct kicks in. His body moves before he thinks. "Run!" he shouts, adrenaline surging through him. Alex's eyes widen with panic. "Dad, what's happening?" "Just trust me, Alex." He grabs Alex's wrist, pulling him toward the thick shadows. Maya stands frozen, the tension radiating from her like electricity. "You don't have to do this," she shouts at the advancing men. But her voice cracks, uncertainty creeping in. One of the men steps forward, a sneer twisting his lips. "You need to come with us, Maya. You know too much." Ethan's heart pounds in his chest. Who are these men? What could Maya possibly know? A sudden noise, a crash, glass shattering, makes Ethan's pulse quicken. He turns, and in that moment of distraction, the wild-eyed man from earlier barrels into the fray. "Get away from her!" he yells, launching himself at the intruders. Chaos explodes. The men grapple, shouts echoing through the warehouse. Ethan shields Alex, trying to keep him close and safe. But time feels distorted. Everything happens so fast, yet it feels like a slow-motion nightmare. Maya's eyes dart from Ethan to the wild-eyed man, desperation flooding her voice. "No, you can't." She lunges forward, but Ethan grabs her arm, pulling her back. "Get out! We need to go now!" The wild-eyed man shouts something indistinct, desperation threading through his words. The truth about... Before he can finish, one of the intruders pulls a gun. The world collapses into a hollow gasp. "Shut up!" Everything pauses. Ethan's lungs feel heavy, dread coiling inside him. And then, like a feral howl slicing through the air, the gun goes off. A shot rings out, loud and sharp, echoing with horrific finality. The wild-eyed man staggers, clutching his chest, then collapses. A thickening silence replaces the chaos. "Maya!" Ethan screams, but the world tilts. Maya's face becomes a mask of horror. As the man falls, blood blossoms across the floor, like a cruel flower. Ethan feels himself shake, disbelief clawing at him. "Get down!" he yells, instinctively shielding Alex. But the panic that grips the room is suffocating. Maya's expression transforms, eyes wide with tears. "What did you do?" she whispers, horror-struck, trembling as she stares at the lifeless figure. In that moment, a piercing realization dawns, more severe than the gunshot's echo. A family, tied in a way he never expected, entangled in blood and betrayal. Maya. The name escapes his lips like a prayer, but the sound feels hollow in the surging chaos. The room seems to spin, the boundaries of their reality fracturing. "What's happening?" Alex whispers, eyes wide with confusion. Just as panic threatens to consume them, the shadowy intruder laughs, a low, unfeeling sound. "You don't even know, do you? The truth about her?" Ethan's breath quickens. "Who is she, Maya?" he asks, barely managing to keep his voice steady. Maya stares, the fear drawing her lips tight. I didn't want you to find out like this." But before she can elaborate, another shot rings out. This time, not from a gun. An explosion erupts outside, shaking the very foundation of their world. The warehouse rocks, debris peppering the air, scattering everyone like leaves in a storm. The structure groans ominously as chaos erupts once more. They stumble back, eyes wide, the air thick with dust and panic. It draws them together, and in that blinding moment of confusion, the truth Nate feared the most hangs in the air, lingering, taunting, and ready to unravel everything he held dear. "Maya!" he gasps, fear clenching his heart. "Tell me the truth. What are you hiding?" But the answer hangs just out of reach as they're thrust into the clamor of the unknown, sirens wailing in the distance. And in the chaos of this new reality, Ethan feels a tether snap, connecting him not only to Maya but to a fate greater than himself, spinning out of control. The night holds secrets, but it could also drown them all. Suddenly, Maya steps forward, her trembling hand reaching for Ethan. I didn't want you to know, but I'm not just an artist. My father, he isn't who you think he is. Her words hang heavy, swirling confusion, thickening the air again. As Ethan tries to wrap his head around her confession, another explosion sounds. Fierce and unyielding, shaking the very ground beneath their feet. The air holds its breath. Then, with a voice that cuts through the chaos like a blade, the figure calls out, "You're all too late. The truth can't be hidden forever." Ethan's mind reels. Before he can register the words, a familiar face comes into focus. Naomi, his long-lost love, thought to be dead, stands alive amidst the chaos and destruction. Maya, she says, locking eyes with Ethan, intensity shining from her gaze. It's time to finish this. Ethan is shattered. The pieces of his world come crashing down around him. Every belief he held, every possibility he imagined, all of it altered in an instant. And as the truth threatens to unravel everything they think they know, the city's pulse continues its haunting rhythm, waiting, anticipating the fallout of revelations yet to come. Ethan stood in shock, heart racing, breathing hard. The chaos swirled around them like a storm. Flashes of red and blue from the police lights outside illuminated the crumbling walls. Maya looked from Ethan to her madre, then back at the fallen man, realidad creciendo sobre su cuerpo. Fier persistente la faz. ¿Qué está pasando, Alex? Susurró. Fier colorando su voz, Maya tomó una postura débil. Sí, Alex, esto tiene que ir. Deseo contarte la verdad. Pero antes de decirlo, el rival de la calle pasó más cerca. Su actitud se enllena. Ya están todos en el pozo. No puedes esconderte del pasado, Maya. Ethan feltó una piega dentro de él, una determinación firme que se iniciara. Nos vamos a ir fuera hasta que te expliques el porqué. Si quédate en el pozo, en manos él. The tension thickened in the air. Two worlds colliding. Maya's hidden past and Ethan's carefully built present. Just tell me what you know, he urged, voice strained yet steady. Naomi, still standing at the edge of chaos, added, "It's all connected, Ethan. Her father is tied to everything. My past, your family's downfall. They erased the truth, but it's time it came back to light." Maya looked torn, her eyes darting between Ethan and her mother. "My father, he tried to protect us, but the truth can destroy, and I've been running from it." "I thought you were just an artist," Ethan exclaimed, desperation lacing his words. "I can't believe you hid this from me." "I had to. I wanted a chance at a normal life," she cried, the weight of her explanation thickening the air. Just then, another loud crash echoed outside, drowning their words. The crowd surged, panic spilling over. People yelled, and the sound of sirens grew closer. "Listen, we need to run," Ethan said urgently, grasping Alex's hand and tugging Maya toward the exit. As they fled through the debris, the past and future collided viciously, each step hammered with uncertainty. The echoes of their lives weaving into a tapestry of chaos and hope. "Maya, why didn't you just tell me?" Ethan pressed, trying to make sense of the whirlwind. It was never about you. It was about protecting my family, Maya admitted, tears brimming in her eyes. But what if my truth can set us free? Outside, the air was thick with smoke, the city lights reflecting the chaos. People scattered in every direction as the grating echoes of sirens enveloped them. "Over here!" a voice called out, familiar and urgent. It was the wild-eyed man, miraculously alive, pushing through the crowd. He locked eyes with Maya. "You need to come with me. They're hunting you." "Why?" Maya shouted over the clamoring noise. "What do they want?" "Your father's sins are their business. They'll stop at nothing," he insisted, reaching out a hand. "Wait," Ethan interjected. "No more running. We're done letting fear dictate our lives." Maya turned to Ethan, hope flickering behind her fear. "If we stand together, we might just stop this." Nodding slowly, Ethan felt a rush of resolve. "Together," he affirmed. The city held its breath, the world around them suspended in uncertainty. As they stepped forward, arms linked, shadows of the past loomed large, but uncertainty shimmered in the distance, like a hint of dawn breaking after a long night. But just as they stepped into the light, shouts erupted nearby. The rival stood not far away, the smirk on his face firmly back in place. "You can't escape the truth, Maya. I'll see to it that you never can." Ethan's heart sank, but deep inside he knew this was just the beginning. They would fight, unravel the web of lies, and break the chains of their past. As the sirens blared, the truth hung heavy in the air, a promise and a threat coalescing. The night may have found its end, but the road ahead was paved with both uncertainty and daring. And as they turned together to face it head-on, Ethan felt a surge of hope. Now, listeners, it's your turn to jump in. You have to subscribe now to our channel so you don't miss the thrilling twists of upcoming stories. Smash the like button immediately to feed the algorithm and keep this adventure alive. Flood the comment sections with your reactions and theories. Let us know what you think. And don't wait even a second longer to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this endearing ending. True fans understand the importance of supporting our journey.